Hi, and welcome to Food for Thought. I'm Chef Justin. Today we're going to be making a chicken and shrimp Fri Diablo, as well as some garlic bread, and we're going to pair it today with a beautiful Savernese. Let's see over here. Alright, so well, you're going to need a cutting board, chicken, shrimp, we'll go over the rest of the ingredients as we go on, and some knives. Alright, so first we're going to clean the chicken. So, I'm going to take it out of the package. And you can get this, whatever, grocery store, chicken breast. You definitely want chicken breast. Alright, so you're going to want like a boneless chicken breast while you're doing this, because it just makes life so much easier if you don't have to worry about any bones. So you're going to want to get all this the skin that's left over from the butcher shop. That. Well, just put in this little bowl over here. Put that piece off there. Alright, flip her over. Give her a little slit down there along the ridges that are down here. And alright, that's good. Peel out the underside. And just make sure you have the majority of the white stuff on the edge. But it's not that it's bad for you, it's just that it's just going to be like tough and stuff to eat. You have to rip it off. But I wouldn't really suggest that. Alright, and that, chicken's cleaned. Now, I'm going to take a chicken. We're going to give them smaller pieces. Let's take a fillet knife. If you don't have a fillet knife, you can use a chef knife. I just prefer to use fillet knives because they're bendy. And you can fillet the chicken easier. So you want to start on this end. Take a knife and just kind of make a nice little cut. And then just keep your hand on top so you don't cut your hand. Keep your fingers tucked inside. And just gently slide the knife across with a little bit of motion. And that one wasn't a good one, but hey, we're human and we have 2 pieces of chicken. And I'll try to keep the knife as level as possible as you're moving through. And also do not cut your wrist. It looks a little bit better. Alright, now anytime you are working with fish or seafood or any really meat, you definitely want to make sure you always wash your hands because you don't want to contaminate anything, especially chicken. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pound it. We're going to tenderize chicken with the meat mallet. You can find these at any store, kitchen store, or even a supermarket. You take the chicken, you lay it on your board. Now people can either do this a couple of different ways. They can pound the chicken directly, or put a sheet of wax paper or plastic wrap or whatever they want to use. I like wax paper. And you want to lightly beat your meat. You don't want to beat it too hard to where you mangle it, but you don't want to beat it too light. You don't want to beat it too light, or else you're going to be here for a while. And it's also going to be super thick and take forever to cook. Isn't it great when they're filming you beat your meat? And there you go. Now your chicken's all cleaned and pounded and ready for the next step. Alright, so now what you're going to do is after you pound the chicken is you're going to cut them up in a little bit smaller pieces. So you can just kind of cut them in half like that. Or whatever. This one's here, you can go 1 and 2. And again, go 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. Alright. So now the next thing you're going to end up doing with this chicken is we are going to flour it and we're going to saute it. Alright, so you're going to put your flour in a bowl. You don't want to put too much because you have a whole bunch of excess flour, but you don't want to have too little in there because then you would rather have less than more. Alright, so you take your chicken, roll it up in there, all nice, and put it right on the plate. After this, we'll check on our marinara sauce, which we are going to make into a Fri Diablo. Now, Fri Diablo, it's either Italian or Spanish, depends on how you say Diablo. It literally translates into the sauce of the devil. It's a spicy dish. So if you don't like spicy foods, I probably wouldn't eat this. So now we're checking our marinara sauce. I'll come back here. We'll stir it up nicely. If you don't want to make homemade marinara, if you're in a little pinch, you can always go to the store and go buy the jar marinara. Or, you want to make this a nice process and make your house smell yummy, you can make your marinara. Oh, I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. Aren't they supposed to invent that by now? Alright, anyways. So now we're going to saute the chicken. I'm going to get some oil. I'm going to saute the pan. Alright, so now that our pan is just about hot, you're going to test it, make sure it's hot. Get a little water. A little water in the thing. It's not hot yet. When it's hot, it'll start sizzling. The stove's hot because you hear the stove sizzling. But yeah, also, you don't want to do that with a lot of water because then oil and water obviously don't mix. And you can splash up and get lovely burns. And you don't want lovely burns. So, you know, just get like a nice little white color on your chicken. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. Oh, there's that one. You don't want to overcook these too much in the pan. Else they'll look like they're burnt. You can always toss them in the oven after you get the color on it. Which is what we're going to do. While we got that going, come back over to the sauce. While we got that going, we're going to add our spicy mix to the sauce. You can have like a Cajun or red pepper flakes. For me, I like spicy, really spicy. I have my own spicy mix that I use in my hot sauce and other things, which you'll see this a lot if you guys watch these shows. It's a mix of like Cajun and cayenne and a whole other bunch of, there's like 17 different peppers in here, I think. It's good. If we had taste-o-vision, you can taste it. Anytime you touch with peppers or spicy stuff, by the way, always wash your hands. Don't ever touch your face. Your eyes get nice and red, and it's not pleasant. So, a little bit. Not too much of this spicy sauce, of the spicy spices, because you don't want the seasoning to be too overpowering of the sauce. You stir it with a wooden spoon, or some Italian kids call it, "Ow, mommy, stop, that hurts." Alright, I roll them back over to our chicken. See, it's all nice now, starting to get a little bit of brown in some spots here, which is good. You want a nice little color. You don't want it all brown. You don't want it all solid white. If I had a big enough burner, everything would cook evenly. But I don't know. Part of the reason why we're going in the oven with this. Alright, so your chicken, you got it nice little golden brown. Take it out of the pan, you turn the pan off. You set it on like a cookie sheet, or as we call them in the restaurant world, sheet pans. right in the oven. I set my oven at 400. You can do between 350 400. 400 is usually a good temperature for me and a lot of other chefs and stuff. All right, so now we're gonna get garlic bread making, and then we're gonna start making the actual dish. All right, so now we're gonna make garlic bread. I like to use Italian bread. You can use Italian, French, whatever. My serrated knife or bread knife. A nice little cut. Cut it in half. Kind of similar way you did the chicken. You gotta keep the knife straight. Like that. You gotta put garlic on it. Everyone loves a nice good garlic bread. Where some Italians might call it, it's Italian birth control. If you don't like garlic and your partner does. Spread that on there real nice. And we're gonna melt some butter. And we're gonna put it on here as well. And give a little spices, you know, a little bit of parsley, a little bit of Italian seasoning. Kind of add a flavor. Okay. Put it on a cookie sheet. So I'm going to brush this with a little butter. I put some Italian seasoning in here as well. Another way you can do it too is you can also brush it with the butter first. And put the garlic on. Or you can make your life complicated. Or you can just pour the butter on. Spread it. It's gonna be yummy. Too bad you guys aren't here to eat this. It's gonna be so good.
Too bad Emma's snoring like a truck. You want me to walk over there with it still on?
Yeah. Cut all this shit out. Alright, then take bread. Pop it in your oven. Cut that out. Chicken's done.
You want me to cut it?
No.
Yeah.
No, chicken. Alright, your chicken's done. So, one of the things you can do is, you know, to get the chicken out is oven mitts. Or, if you're a skilled professional like me, just use a towel. Come. So, your chicken. Now, say the chicken. Now, to double check to make sure it's all done. So I got my paring knife. It's hot, so don't touch with your hands. You can take a piece and you can cut it a little bit. Now you can touch it. And see, no pink. Now your chicken's done. Turn it off. Alright, so now for the shrimp, we're going to Cajun the shrimp. So I got a nice Cajun seasoning. And a little bit in a bowl there. No, not that kind of bowl. Shrimp out of the bag. They want to come out of the bag. Now, I got my shrimp already cleaned and deveined. I got little baby shrimp. Alright, maybe they're not cleaned. Check your shrimp, make sure they need to be cleaned. These ones do. That's one where you get it from. So, you want to get this little skin off the shrimp. And when you're done, you can put them right in the thing. Most of the time when you get it from your local supermarkets. Oh shit, these need to be fucking clean too. Fuck. Turn it off. Alright, so then you'll just toss your shrimp in your Cajun. Now on these shows I'm probably going to be doing one full show devoted to Cajun style of cooking. And that should be fun. That one should be in a couple of weeks. Alright, so now you got your shrimp all nice and Cajun rubbed. And set them off to the side. You can stop that. Alright, so now we got boilage. Let's turn the fan on so we don't get all steamy. Now I gotta add pasta. I'm choosing linguine. what I had. We're gonna go with that. So you can either break it in, you can either break it or you can still, but I'm gonna break it. Now you always want to break down into the pot. And then, when you're putting it in, move your hand around. So it gives this twisty twirly kind of thing. And put the lid back on. Turn the fan off. Alright, while you're waiting for your pasta to come to a boil, now you can start making the dish. Start actually cooking stuff. So now what you're going to do is get a saute pan, put a little bit of oil in. Or a frying pan as some people might call it. Put a little bit of oil, not a lot. A little bit goes a long way. So bring it around town. Bring it around town. Get it in the pot. Once your water comes back to a boil over here, you can take your lid off, put it off to the side, and stir your pasta around. And no, we are not going to throw it up against the fridge like that one crazy lady on TV does. Then you can take your shrimp, you put your shrimp in pan. Pan's not hot enough, but oh well. These shrimp are These shrimp are, because they're small, they're I believe they're 41 to 50 count. It's just however many shrimp you can fit to like a pound or whatever. So now we're gonna dice up our mushrooms for this dish as we have our shrimp cooking and our pasta cooking. Hey, that's for our garlic bread. Slash pasta, possibly. Come around. Alright, so the garlic bread is all nice and toasty. I'll just put this over here. I'm cutting that shot out because you got the light. I can already tell.
Yeah.
I can already tell you got the light.
I'm sorry.
Alright.
Please don't get mad.
I'm not. Yes, that was hot, by the way, in case you were wondering.
Do you still want me to be recording right now?
Are you?
Apparently. Do you want me to stop?
No. Alright. Almost fine. Now you get your shrimp. It's all nice and starting to get a little color. You can kind of see the little red on the tail a little bit. And some of them start to pop open like that. They're getting close. You can feel them by I don't know if you touch them, but they're squishy. They're not done. They're not done yet, but if they get a little hard and firm, they are going to be done. So now we're going to add our chicken back in here. No. Usually you can cut this.
You want me to cut
No,
that?
I meant I'll cut the chicken with my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, instead of ripping it apart. Now sometimes your handles could be hot, so use like a pot holder or a towel or whatever. Well,
Dude, I totally think it's cool. The burner looks blue instead of red.
Yeah, that looks so badass.
Like, I've been staring at this the whole freaking time.
So now you're going to add your mushrooms. The shrooms, man. Gotta add the shrooms, man. If you don't like any... If you don't like any of these ingredients, you can always substitute them out, or take them out and add more of another one. Now I'm going to lower that down a little bit. Let's cook and come back and check our pasta. You don't want to try to do like an al dente. Pasta usually takes about 10 minutes. Nope. That's good. If it's easy to eat, it's done. Please tell me you got that. Alright, so now that your pasta's done and strained off, let's not do that. And then make sure you add a little bit of water or sauce into the pot before you put the pasta down in there, or else you're going to burn it. A little bit, not too much. And keep it off the heat that way so it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. You can add as much sauce as you want to your dish when it's done. Alright, with diced tomato, you can use a serrated knife. Get rid of that end piece. Let's go 1. Let's go 2. Chef knife, go 1. Keep your hands like this so you don't cut your fingers. 2, 3, and 4. Rotate them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright. We can add this to our dish over here. Not drop anything in the cabinet. These little monkey dishes definitely come in handy when you're moving from counter to stovetop.
Can I ask you something?
You can move from counter to stovetop. And what's the question?
You're on 1 battery bar. Just FYI.
So you're gonna plug it back in. And we're almost done. So you can add your tomatoes to that. Cut the garlic bread a little bit more in nice sized pieces. And go like that. Then we're going to get them back in the oven for a little bit because they're kind of cooled down a lot while we're finishing up our wonderful dinner. Not too long though, maybe like a minute. So now everything is all nice and happy and done. So you're going to add a little bit of marinara sauce to it, or Fri Diablo now, it's called. And get them all nice and flavorful all up in there. Alright, now we're going to get some pasta. In the bowl. Again, if you don't like spicy, you can take out the spicy stuff. Alright, I'm going to take this, slide it right on top of there. Alright, just like that. Have it, a chicken and shrimp Fri Diablo with garlic bread and a nice glass of wine. Now I'm going to go sit down and enjoy this. But first, don't forget to, like the channel and all that other fun stuff. Like Pink Mohawk Productions on Facebook. Check out every week for new videos. Thanks. Enjoy.